Hello, everybody. I bet you Lauren's in here before I even type, hey, everyone. Hi, Joy. You're first here. You're first here today. Although I suspect everyone's going to see that I uploaded fine. I think I need lighting. How are you? What are you working on today? I'm working on that handmade paper. Hi, Pat. I'm working on the handmade paper for Sugar Ray. So I'm on my third sheet. You guys, I'm making sure you guys can hear me. Hi, Alice. How are you doing? Wait a second. I'm doing the math in my head what time it is. Hi, Lauren. I was like, is Lauren going to be the first one in? But Joy beat you here today. Joy beat you. Lauren, what are you working on? I'm working on that handmade paper for Sugar Ray. I'm asking everyone what they're working on. As you can see, I'm stenciling. Hi, China. What are you working on? Oh, yay. Yay. Hi, Brian. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Robin. Oh, wow. It's 11 a.m. You're working from home. Oh, no. What's wrong with him? Is he sick with something serious? Is it a cold? I'm hoping it's a cold. You're packing up Heather's swap? Wow. How did you decorate it? Lauren, you and I both like On Kate's Desk. Alice, do you watch On Kate's Desk too? I'm just checking to see. I bet you, first I want to see what's wrong with Alice's child, but then I also want to find out if she watches On Kate's Desk. Lauren Cunningham and I watch On Kate's Desk. And she just did this great packaging. Okay. Yeah, no coughing in school. I know, right? Because they're afraid now. They're not sure. They get nervous, and you can understand that, right? Sorry, guys, I'm reaching. So On Kate's Desk, y'all just did like this really good Halloween swap where they did like all these amazing. She did these amazing. Oh my goodness. Okay, Alice, her Halloween swap blew me away, and I saw blew Lauren away too. Lauren and I both commented. We were like, "Whoa!" Like the embellishments she made. I'm totally scrap lifting her sequin candy machine. I never thought to do that. I did. I don't want to ruin something, but I made something for you that's going out this week. That was with pom poms, but I loved her sequins. Hi, Gary. Yeah. Can I ask a question, Alice? How come she makes so few videos? Like sometimes 6 months will go by, she doesn't make a video. But when she makes a project, it's so good. Oh, really, Sarah? Is he okay? Hi, Dawn. We were just talking about On Kate's Desk and like how she doesn't make. Hi, Lana. Happy Sunday. Hi, Susan. Hi, Bertha. Oh, thank God, Sarah. I'm telling you, you have had so many COVID scares. Two is enough in a family. Like it's so scary. Hi, Lisa. So, Lisa, you know what I was thinking? Do you know who will probably really need masks? Since you asked me the other day, and I gave it some thought after you said, okay, no, I'm willing to make it for everybody. Bonnie Myers goes with her sister like 3 times a week for cancer treatments. And so they're at the hospital as much as I am, and they don't have a lot of masks. So I think Bonnie and her sister really need a new mask. And in fact, I think the masks they're still using are masks I sent them like 6 months ago. So I'm thinking, because the fibers wear down. Ah, you're rock, Pat. You already had her on the list. You had her on the list. I should have known, Pat, you were on it because Lisa asked, and I was like, let me think about it. And then I realized, guys, Bonnie needs masks. You know what they said, guys? A really smart thing. They said on the CDC that they just released it that it ruins our masks faster, but if we put our cloth masks in the dryer, it shrinks the fibers and makes them more effective for blocking the virus, but it also ruins the mask faster, which kind of sucks. That's why, oh my gosh, Alice, okay, I couldn't figure it out because you know something? When I first started on here, like I would watch you, I would watch her, and I always look for her videos. And then all of a sudden, guys, we're talking about On Kate's Desk, and she just did this swap. And I'm telling you guys, her Halloween swap was like mind blowing. If you like anything at all related to crepe paper, you'll love it. And if you just like clean crafting, she's really creative. So, but she makes videos, and then all of a sudden, guys, there was like no video for 6 months almost. And I thought there was something, she was one video, but I got really worried. Hi, Robin. Hi, everyone coming in. I know I just missed everybody. Who else did I miss? Lorraine. Hi, Lorraine. I'm sure I missed someone. And Anna plays with paper. Um, so I was just saying, like, I knew there was something wrong because she's such an amazing maker. And I figured there was something. Okay, so what's everyone else working on? Oh, holiday masks. Yeah, you know what, Sarah, is it true what they're reporting that your lockdown is going to be pretty intense? Like it's going to be like a month long, right? I know. I'm sorry if I miss everyone. Hi, Erica. I'm seriously sorry. It's hard to fuck when I'm trying to start the paper too. It's also hard to like watch and make sure. I answered. I answered. I answered. I answered. You know what happened, Lana? I answered before the live again. My original answer to you got stuck in draft, which was my fault. So I re-answered you. You'll see it's there. Go log into your email because then you'll be like, oh, there's her answer. Here's her answer. But you're right. I didn't check email all week, y'all. I didn't. I was terrible, even for work. Only the urgent messages that I had to for students. Most students are giving up. I have to tell you, they're so frustrated, which we can understand. We can. And some professors aren't marking papers. Hi, Miss Sheila. They're not marking papers, and that's what I heard. Okay, so that's a serious lockdown. Are you prepared for that? Like, do you have enough stuff in the house? Yay, Lana. See? I was like, okay, don't tell me she didn't get the other one either. Then I'm gonna be like, hi, Keela. They're not gonna shut high school. Do you know what's interesting, Sarah? They're doing that in other countries too. And I'm wondering how that's gonna work. But I guess they have an idea in a way I don't understand it. Oh my gosh, everything she's been making lately, Miss Sheila, is beautiful. I can't believe you can make all of that while recovering. It's amazing. I'm okay. So I hope you have everything, Sarah. Like that's a serious lockdown. Hi, Linda. What are you having for supper? You know, the one who likes to cook over here always wants to know, what are you eating? I love that I knew you all ate early. I swear to you, my husband and I don't eat dinner till 9:30. That's left over from New York. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Because I can't imagine how even if they keep them in small pods, how they're going to contain the virus. But listen, they're far, there's got to be ways because there are other countries where they're doing it successfully. Do you know that, guys, that places like Taiwan have not had a case in like 30 days because they practice certain things, precautions, and they haven't had a single case in 30 days. And they do a ton of testing. Whoa, you made a good dinner, Lisa. Wow. You know what? It helps me too. I get it, Sheila. I get it. But I'm amazed because I was like, how did she do all that this week? Hello, Kathy. I just saw you now because I was caught up in reading Lisa Douglas's meal for tonight. We were all having this conversation, Kathy, like, what's everyone having for supper? We don't eat till like 9 o'clock at night or 9:30. We're by then some people are in bed, I know, which but that's left over from New York, guys. It's very typical in New York. So like I think we haven't changed that here. And we don't eat lunch till 3. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. We always end up talking about food, Kathy. Don't ask me. I don't know how it happens, but we do. We learned that like Lorraine knows how to do a lot of, she misses German baking, but she knows how to do a lot of German baking. We've had really interesting food discussions on here, actually. Uh, I figured we would just make, but oh, I love reading what you guys are doing. See, it's good. So I'm glad you're eating something you're happy with, Linda. That makes me happy. It was also made me happy to hear you got to see your grandkids for Halloween. Like that made me so happy. Yeah, insomnia helps too. It does. It's true. Do you know, Anna Plays with Paper said, Alicia, do you have elves working? And I was like, no, I just wasn't sleeping much because I was uncomfortable, right? I was up all night. So rather than be bored when you're up all night, what do? You craft. It's pretty amazing. Hello, Cynthia Aguilar. Where does Christina come in? Did I miss her? I did. Hello. Oh, you're having homemade sushi? Ooh, that's serious business. That is so serious business. Have you guys ever tried making homemade sushi? And I love cooking. It makes a big mess. Oh, Alice, I don't know how you fit everything in. Take a longer lunch break so that you have time to film it and actually enjoy it, right? So that also you enjoy it, then you're happy about how you showcase your projects. Otherwise, it's going to feel sad to you, like you couldn't highlight them enough, you know? Hi, Esther. Yeah, you do need a solid month off, Lisa. Like, I bet you the list is long. Because you have to remember, right? When we first sent out that first round of masks and everyone was making masks, most people are still wearing those masks, Lisa. Like, do you guys all catch this? I don't know if you put it. Did you put Pat, did you put Kathy's favorite things on that list and Leticia? Like Kathy was saying in one of her videos, like she's got 3 masks. She's got 3 or 4 masks. But even when she does laundry all the time, she often finds herself a mask short. Because if she has to run out to the grocery store, you have to wash it every time you wear it. And she says like there are days where she just like is like, where are all of our masks? So when you think about it, you know, I have a feeling there are more people that need masks than we realize, actually. You know? Okay, you have both of them on the list. I shouldn't be surprised. Pat's better at this than me. I'm just thinking because you asked me, I'm like, okay, let me just think. And also Alvia would be another person who would need masks. K&E. I know you've got the list, Pat. You know what? I'm just rambling off in my head. Hi, Dawn. Just to make sure that never know, we can miss somebody. You just never know. You just never know. What are you working on, Miss Aguilar? Some people are eating their supper. I'm working on that handmade, hand-painted paper for Sugar Ray. See, right, Root, right? And you've got 18, right? Okay, so I don't have 18, but I have enough. And I'm doing laundry all the time because especially going to, I don't have to explain this to you because of what you do for a living. But because I'm at the doctor in the hospital so much, right? They have to really be washed. So I'm always washing mine too. Always, always, always. So I think if people only have 2 masks, I don't know how they're managing because you have to rotate everything out. Oh, Brian. Okay, so you don't have to go off Coumadin for the procedure? Hi, Sandra. So nice to see you. Where's Lizzie? Lizzie came in here. How did I miss that? Hi, Lizzie. It is her. Okay, Len, I'm going to tell you something. The 2 and 3 ply ones are hard to breathe through, but they're safer. So you know what? You need more mask breaks. If you're going to wear, like I have to wear them because of my immunosuppressants. I'll tell you what you need if you're going to wear them. Mask breaks. That's so that you can take a minute and not feel from the mask. You know, I'm just waiting to see what Brian says. So they're not going to take you off Coumadin. But that's still, you're having a procedure, Brian. Is it in a clinic, like a doctor's office or at the hospital? I'm prying not to be nosy. I promise, Brian. I'm prying out of concern. I want to make sure you have everything you need. Elsa, I was so hoping you could make it tonight. Hi, Elsa. I'm waiting for Brian to answer so we know whether or not he has enough stuff. Office setting. Okay. And do you have masks, Brian? Thank you, Pat. That was going to be my next question. You knew that already. I'm so excited. I'm loving these recipes. I love to cook, y'all. So every new recipe, first of all, if Miss Sheila, not too many, okay, we need to get you some masks. Brian, if you're going like me to the doctor in the hospital for procedures, you need masks. You know what size like you normally wear? Like I don't know what size face you have. So like I don't know, are you average? Anything, Lana. I okay, so I really love food, Lana, and I love food from around the world. I love spicy food. We love everything. And my husband's a very adventurous eater. He's not a healthy eater. Getting him to eat healthy is really hard, y'all. It's very, very hard. I'm so excited, Bertha, because I love making new things because it keeps our menu exciting. I don't know how you guys. I love Korean food. It's probably my second favorite food. But I grew up with one of my close friends growing up was Korean, so I like hot food because of that. From a young kid, I was eating something called kimchi. So I love kimchi. Lisa, it's really. I have to tell you something. Get That's one of the things that I'm sending you is just in case because I had a feeling that most people would send you female prints, right? So I sent you some of that, but I also sent you some that are male on purpose because I had a feeling. I had a feeling. Monty, wait, what? Would you like kimchi? Wait a second, I'm gonna fall over. Somebody else likes kimchi? Oh my goodness. You and I have too much in common, Miss Aguilar. Oh my goodness, so much in common. Kimchi, oh my goodness, Cynthia, that's another thing we have in common. Um, it's it's hard to explain. It's hot pickled cabbage. My friend's grandmother used to make it in a jar and bury it in the backyard, but I love it. If you like it, oh, bulgogi is one of my favorite things. It's one of my favorite things. Oh my gosh, you know what bulgogi is? Yes, I love the pickles that are kimchi. Yes. Oh, that's crazy. Wow. It's really uncommon for me to have that in common with anybody. There's two of you on here who like kimchi. Wow. Wow. Oh, wow, Joy. Are you ever lucky? Because then you can get all sorts of delicious things. All sorts of delicious things. Wow. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. I love spicy food. I do. So my husband is not a guys, I have to sneak vegetables in. So like he's tough to feed because he likes meat and he likes potatoes. Um, and he's an adventurous eater. He'll eat duck tongue, but he likes meat and he doesn't like a lot of things that are green. So getting things into him that are healthy is a bit tricky. So I'm always looking for new recipes to sort of trick him into eating better. Last night I made collard greens. He does like collard greens. He does. Oh, but pierogies are delicious. Pierogies are delicious. Oh my goodness, Joy, I would be in heaven. I miss kimchi like a lot, especially a homemade kimchi is really special. I like it all. I like cabbage kimchi. I like pickled kimchi. I like all the kimchis. I have preferences. I have favorites out of the hundred and something kinds that are made, but I like all kimchis. Oh, did you get mail from Monty too? Yeah, that was really sweet, Monty. Oh my goodness, Cynthia, do I ever, you know what? It's funny that you say that. We found, guys, this really great small Italian bakery here, and we're in the store, and it's so small that they have a rule that if someone's in the store, you can't go in during COVID. Like it's that small. And I like that they're being that careful. And we were in there, and every person outside waiting is from New York, Cynthia. They're down here and they're from New York, and everyone's looking for like real bread. Oh, it's so good. Wait, your kids go to Korean school? My best friend growing up went to Korean school. I know all about Korean school. Oh my goodness. Okay. Homemade kimchi at school is amazing. Wow. Oh, nice. See, that's how I get him to eat veggies, Sarah. That's exactly how I get him to eat it. He does like pasta a lot. So I can make a homemade sauce with like 15 vegetables in it. That's one way to get it into his system. Joy, really? That's very cool. You did make a live. And you know what we were just saying, Bonnie, how many masks do you and your sister have at home right now? We're not asking to be nosy. We're asking because we want to make sure you have enough going into this next spike. Fruit is good for you too. If he ate more fruit, I'd be very happy. It's just, I think anything in that category, it's hard to get him to eat it unless it has a certain flavor. Again, he loves collard greens. That's very healthy. That's very healthy. And that I made yesterday, although I didn't make them from scratch, y'all. I did. I finally saw it, Brian, and I was laughing. I was so laughing. I had no idea what they were. I had no idea. I don't eat a lot of sweets, Brian. So like I'm a salty person. So I had no idea what you were talking about. I never know what half the candy is because of that. Okay, four is not enough for you. So that's great. Lisa has you on a list for masks, Bonnie, and your sister. But that's not enough. You're going to the hospital all the time with her, the cancer center, and we're in this crazy spike. Hi, Michelle. Ah, that's another. Pat, do you have Michelle on your list? Hi, Nilda. Yeah, you like vegetables. You know what? It's totally true, Pat. You actually you're a healthy eater. Half the stuff you eat, he wouldn't be interested in because, again, I have to kind of hide his food like you would for a young kid. I really like the idea of Barbara Ford's chili because he won't notice all the veggies in there, and he likes chili. Oh, paella is yummy. Yeah, I know, Michelle. We're back to food. You know, isn't it funny? We were just talking about, you know what we're talking about? Masks. Who needs masks for the spike? What we're all making right now, what channels we were talking about on Kate's desk, and then we're back to food. Oh, you also are a salt lover. Yeah, I love paella too. I mean, who doesn't love paella? Oh my goodness, it's so good. I think, and you can have it made so many different ways, so you can customize it. Oh, please send it to me, Brian. I'm glad you got to spend time with her. That's really good. Okay, Michelle does not like paella. Nope. No paella recipes for her. But you're a healthy eater also, Michelle, right? And so is that because you don't like things that are like gluten? Well, is rice count? Yeah, rice does count as like a glutinous type of item, doesn't it? It does. Oh, yummy. I also like those. Oh, because you put carrots in it. Oh, see, that's smart. I try to sneak in cauliflower into my husband's, but he always says to me, "Did you put cauliflower in here?" He always can tell. No matter what I do, he can tell. I really have to hide it. Like I have to hide it. And I love vegetables. I'm the opposite. I'm like Pat. I like vegetables. I could eat a mostly vegetarian diet. Oh, I love curry, Michelle. Oh, I agree with you. It's a perfect vegetable for it because it soaks it up, right? It's beautiful. Really, you make tamales? Lorraine, how are you going to get there? I was going to ask you that. Like, how are you going to go? I'm glad you're going to be with her. How are you going to travel? By the way, you know what, guys? I did find out today my best friend from Canada is thinking of coming here in February, despite the danger. She's waiting to see the election results, but she's trying to come down to be with me. She's still a little scared. I'm not sure it's a good idea. I mean, she's much safer in Canada, but she wants to. Oh, I love I also like, Michelle, have you ever made it baked in the oven with a tahina sauce? It's really good. You're gonna drive. Okay, that's it. Yeah, that's the safest way. It's the safest way. And pack all your food. Pack all your food. 5 years or so away, Kathy. You crack me up. Yeah, Cynthia, that's what I should do is puree it, right? Because he'll eat it in sauces. Like it's just he doesn't like the one that's his plate so much. He can tolerate sweet potato, which is good. I made that also last night with collard greens because he'll eat. But he's not a healthy vegetable eater, and I prefer most of my plate to be vegetables. The vegetables down here, I don't know what's with Florida lately in vegetables, but they are not good. Oh, wow. Okay, so Middle Eastern food is the bomb. Yeah, so baked cauliflower, fried cauliflower, all the vegetable salads, all the eggplant salads. I mean, nightshade's not that good for you overall, but you know what? Not so bad in limited amounts. And eggplant can be delicious. Hi, Joanne. Yeah, all the snap stuff. Oh, and all four dogs. I forgot about all four dogs, Lorraine. And little wipes for them and stuff. Okay. You need a check-in, a point check-in. Pat, how can we arrange that so that we know? Bye, Alice. I hope Archer's feeling better. Take really good care, and we're going to look for your video. Hi, Nadia. Um, we should make sure we do a check-in with you while you're driving so that you have check-ins just in case. Aw. Oh, Pat, me too. I love eggplant parmesan too. I'm telling you, I don't need meat in my diet. I like it. I just don't need it. I don't need it. There are some blood types though, guys that need red meat more. Like they have a lower something, I forget which one it is. They have a need for more protein. It doesn't have to come from meat though. Hi, Nadia. I love fried eggplant too, Lisa. So much. So much. That's really smart, actually, Lorraine. It's my favorite thing to do too for a long distance drive is to get up early and go before everyone's on the road, and then you make really good time and you get there before you're completely exhausted. Um, it's really smart. Yeah, we might, but we do need to do a check-in or at least offer you that so that, there's people who are making sure that we're checking so that you're not by yourself completely on this journey because it's still a big drive. I'll tell you a funny thing about that, Cynthia. So yesterday I was short on eggs. I've been using a lot of eggs because I've been doing like homemade desserts and all different things. So I was short on eggs. So I made more normal corn muffins that I make all the time in a skillet, like a skillet pan of cornbread, not corn muffins, cornbread in a skillet, like a Lodge Alley cast iron pan. And I didn't have eggs for it, enough eggs. And I used a vegan recipe. It didn't come out great. It just didn't. There was a huge difference in how it came out. Now it could just be that recipe. I don't know. I love cornbread too. And I put little chilies in mine because we like a little back heat. No, you're not super late. And of course, we're talking about food again. We were talking about crafting, but somehow we always get onto the food topic. We don't know what it is about this live and driving and safety and who needs a mask. Yeah, that's true. You can go faster. See, Kathy and I are like, yes, with chili. Yeah, I like the back heat. I even have a little back heat in my collard greens, which is not supposed to be there, but I like it. I cheated last night. I did not make them from scratch like I usually do. I have always keep a couple of things in my pantry as backup emergency, and one of them is canned collard greens, and then I doctor it with stuff. Yeah, I know. See, like it's true, Pat. Crohn's does limit what you're supposed to be eating, but during COVID, you have to eat. We all have to eat what we can get. Yeah, yeah. Turkey's much better for you. It's so much better. Yeah, I think I just hit a bad recipe because I've had great vegan stuff in New York City, like really great, where you can't even tell ever that any of those ingredients are missing. I think this recipe was just off. And so I'll try a different one, you know. But it was good to try it just I didn't have enough eggs for my normal recipe. So, oh, pumpkin cornbread. Oh my gosh, you really like pumpkin. That's like the one thing I haven't fallen in love with this pumpkin. I don't know why. I like baked squash because I like all vegetables. A baking collab, those are a really cool idea. That's really cool. Hi, Lanny. Oh, girl, how is Brooklyn? Tell us how. first of all, how's the pseudo lockdown going? Kathy's baking too? That's amazing. Oh, I'm excited for this. Okay, so Lanny, how's Brooklyn? One, and do you have everything in the house before the election? Because we both know that if it doesn't go a certain way, there's going to be trouble. So I want to make sure that you have everything in your house before Tuesday. Yeah, do you know what? I have to tell you something, Cynthia. For my autoimmune, I've had to go meet with like when I was like early on, and they taught me a lot about nutrition and a lot of things that as a kid, I was taught were not actually accurate anymore. And so I think it's good for you to go and like, I also think it's good to eliminate not just, okay, so here's Alicia being honest. It has a big carbon footprint to eat meat. So ethically, sometimes that's also a struggle, but it's also that it's hard on our bodies to digest. And then it's really hard today to find stuff that's ethical. So it's a whole complicated thing. And then I'm married to somebody who loves meat and doesn't have any of these concerns about meat. So it's but it's healthier for you. That's for sure. Well, that's what I'm being blunt. That's why I'm asking Lanny. Hi, Kathy, who's going to be baking? I want to make sure that he has everything because New York is a strongly Democratic state, and they will be furious, especially because there's been some votes held up. Uh, there was a shooting last night. Lanny, girl. Uh, yeah, see, right, Michelle? Because it's healthier. It's so much healthier. But there's 1,000 reasons to do it. Carbon footprint. Um, we don't, certain processing plants are better to animals. Now there's all these reasons to do it. I'm not so hokey like I'm hippie-ish, but I'm not fully whatever. But there's a lot of good reasons to like not eat meat as much as we do. Lanny, oh, this is what I'm worried about. That's why I'm asking, are you sure you have everything? And are you sure I shouldn't be shipping you anything? I'm worried. Hi, Lise. Okay, Lise, you're driving on Wednesday? Oh, Lord. Yeah, this makes me worried. No, Lanny, and I get it. You and I get it. I get it, right? Like I had no choice in terms of health. I had to either go or stay put permanently. And we all know that if I stayed in the winter, what would have happened to me? And clearly, I still got sick. But girl, I get it. I get it. You don't leave till you have to, unless you're forced out. I'm just nervous because we both know our areas very well, right? That's why I asked flat out. I asked flat out because we both know that if it doesn't go right on Tuesday, we know how that state's going to feel, right? And underrepresented and dissed. So I'm worried. And I don't know if you all know this, but the voting down here in Florida is not going the way that they expected. So there's a strong desire for the Democrats, but not a lot of people showing up at the polls. Voter turnout is really low in Florida right now, mostly because people are afraid of getting COVID. That's what we're saying, Michelle. So I was asking Lanny straight out, like to not leave her house on Tuesday, because we know that if for some reason the election does not go Democratic, New York's a really strongly Democratic state, and people will riot. They'll be very upset. And Lanny says this is already starting. Like there were shootings last night right by her house. Yeah, Goodbye City Live is right. It's unbelievable. No toilet paper or water again, eh, Monty? It's again. I swear to you. Yeah, it can turn ugly. But you know what the difference is, Lenny? I've also had this happen, but I think you and I were just straight up and they can tell that we're local, like we're not transplanted. And so they let us go. But I think that it's oh yes, Michelle, we were really worried. Of course they can. And you know something, we've never seen the country divided like this. It's not how it goes. Do you know there was a woman today, guys? I'll tell you. Sue, I think that's a good idea. I'm serious. I told my husband I'm also going tomorrow. Same reason. So here's what I'm worried about. This is really scary, y'all. I'm telling you, there was a Republican on the news today who clearly like spoke out against not wearing a mask, not social distancing, and that having different political opinions should not cause you not even to eat at the same table, let alone hurt one another. I really liked and had a lot of respect for her. It's like the first time I've heard a Republican speaking out in the way that she did. And she said that her party's putting a lot of pressure on her to support Trump for his policies. And she said, I can't. He's, in my opinion, a racist. And in my opinion, he's a misogynist, and I can't. And he's not telling people to wear masks. So, but she's getting a lot of heat from her party. But this has never happened in this country. Like we've all had people, you know how many people I've had over at my house and we have very different political opinions? This has never happened before. Yeah, if the weather, it's so true. See, it's crazy. No, I know, Brian, you also like if you're susceptible in any way, you have to be very careful during this spike. So it's tough. Yeah, right. We got to go forward. Like this is, yeah, no, the whole thing is dodgy, Michelle. There is nothing, it's all dodgy. Um, and no one's clean. You know what? That's the truth. But this country's never been like this. We've always had neighbors that maybe we didn't agree with their political views, but you could discuss it like an adult. You could say, "Hey, I don't agree with you. Here's why." You heard them out. Maybe you didn't really change their minds, but at least you heard each other out. You were polite. You still had them over for supper. They were your neighbors. Nobody hated anybody. This has become crazy land. That's funny. That's why I always say to people, I don't care who you vote for. I think your right to vote is really important. I respect anyone's right to their opinion on how they want their country to be. I just don't like this division that is happening, and I don't want anyone to get COVID. So, yeah, there was a civil war once, Susan. Point well made. Point well made. It's scary when you say that, but it's well made. Bonnie, I don't like you going on Tuesday. Can you shift the appointment to Wednesday? Well, even the Wednesday is not good. How about Thursday? I don't know what I think. Honestly, I did a whole bunch of research to try to figure out who was lying, who was telling the truth. I looked at studies from Stanford. There are so many lies in this thing. I wasn't kidding the other day on the video. I really made a video like 3 times, and then I'm like, it doesn't belong on the craft channel. And is it really gonna? My husband's like, if you thought it would help people better understand what's happening, he would tell me to put it up. But we did a lot of research. There's lies all over the place. We looked at a study that just came out of Stanford University. Do you know that study just was released? And I checked its sources to see who was in charge of the research study there. You know that 30,000 new cases of COVID have come from the super spreader events and 791 deaths. It's not being reported, not even on CNN or MSNBC. There's a bunch of things that aren't being reported. And so it's like, oh, it makes me crazy. It makes me crazy. Oh, you already have appointments Wednesday and Thursday. It's like my week. I have 2 medical appointments on Tuesday, and one of them's in Miami. And I can't change it because it's pre-op. I tried. Yeah, everything's boarded up. The city looks like a ghost town. I don't believe it. I don't know what to say. This is not how it should be. And this is not the country I fell in love with either, right? Right, exactly, Dawn. Like I was raised that way too. Do you know what my mom said? Look, when you're out in polite company, it's never a good idea, it's never a good idea to discuss your political views because it could make an uncomfortable space for someone. So if someone comes to your home, don't openly engage in conversations about religion or politics because you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. And we were sort of raised that way. Um, Here in America, things are very different. People used to talk openly about politics. So that shifted. The neighbors would come over, you'd have a discussion, and people would disagree all the time, but politely. and they would listen to each other and they would have a pleasant debate instead of a heated argument. And nobody called each other names, or no one said like Republicans were bad or Democrats were bad. It wasn't like that. There wasn't a good or bad. So it's become very strange. I'm not sure how this happened, but well, I'm pretty sure how this happened. Not true. I'm pretty sure how this happened, but it's so unhealthy. It's not the way it was. It's so unhealthy. Yep. Issues in the, of course they're connected, Cynthia. Of course they're connected. Right? Exactly. So like that's what my mom says. My mom said the same thing the other day. She said, Pat thinks she's never getting out of her apartment. And you know what? I got nervous for you, Pat, because someone in your state said that while everyone else might be okay by 2021, the end of 2021, your state might need an extra few months. And I was like, no, she's been there since last year. Um, yeah, we know how it happened, Kathy. Of course we do. I've never seen this country divided like this. It's insane. But I think we have to be careful because you don't want to hurt anyone, you don't want to isolate anyone, and you sure don't want to make anyone mad enough to take out any kind of weapon either. So um, it's rough days, I tell you. Rough days. I miss what Brian said. Yeah, but fracking is only a small part of it. I mean, the fracking thing is really an issue with Biden because, on one hand, he's anti-fracking. On the other hand, he's promising he won't take it away. He's put forth policy. So people aren't really sure if he's telling the truth on that one issue. That is an issue. Um, there's so many issues. There's race, there's voter discrimination, there's not wearing a mask. And then, I really like George Floyd's brother. I think what he said the other day was really eloquent, but no one carried it on the news except for 2 minutes, not even 2 seconds on CNN, which made me really mad because he spoke so beautifully. He said, please don't use my brother's death as a reason to make this country more divided. Like, that's not the memory I want for him. I'd rather instead we work together to solve these problems. And it was a beautiful statement and nobody carried it. And I was like, is that not sad? That was actually news too. Right. It's the denial that's the problem, Michelle, right? That's the thing. Because on one hand, he said one way and then switched it for the election. So I think that's his weak spot. That's the problem. And those of us that do research know that. It's true, Sarah. All of them don't. That's what I'm telling you. It's right. There's lies all over the place. It's really. Yeah, it's true, Lenny. Yep, it's true. I'm waiting for Cynthia's dad's answer. Yeah. Ugh. They're saying it's true, Lisa. They're saying, at least honest doctors are saying, right, it's who's lying is the worst. I know. I know. I think so too. I listen. The only thing is that, uh, he, yeah, it's true. That's why, Cynthia. That's why I say everyone has the right to vote. Where I may have my own opinions about things, but I believe in everyone's right to cast their vote because that's exactly right. Your dad fought for that right. It's a special right. So I agree with that. I just don't like people being violent or looting or Lanny living in an area that's now boarded up. And my area back home is boarded up. Why? Because people are going to be violent. And I don't know how we came to this point. Well, I do know how. Kathy's right. We do know how we came to it. It just upsets me that we've come to it. It's not the way that this place operates. It's not how people operate. Susan's right. Civil war existed here. And it was a pretty serious war. It's not the way it has been. You know? Oh, it can't just disappear. It's very hard to get someone honest in an office. Oh my goodness. I told you if only we could solve all the problems. Um, yeah, you can't make it like a global infection disappear overnight. It's impossible. And it's, yes, right. No, and I agree with that too. Look at that listen, what about that man in Philadelphia who's did you guys see that? The son who was like, he had a knife because he was suffering with some mental health issues and they killed him. But as he said, the police officers also didn't have much choice because they weren't outfitted with tasers. I mean, the father of that man made me cry when he was on the news because he said, "Don't get angry at them because they're not given tasers." Well, they weren't given any choice. And I thought, you cannot be speaking up for this, but he was such a decent man, the father. But he said, "Please don't burn down our neighborhood. We barely have enough food." And that was also heartbreaking. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's so true. If we had magic wands, right? Oh, I wish we all had magic wands. Thank goodness we have crafting. I don't know what other people are doing. I don't know what they're doing, y'all, with all their time at home during lockdowns. I know my husband is losing his mind. I'm with you, Lenny. Are you sure you have everything? Well, I can always send it to you after. I don't know if anyone's going to be delivering the mail. I think, Lizzie, listen, I'll tell you, he got a medicine before he developed strong symptoms that the average person doesn't have access to. So his treatment was not the same as you or I would get in a hospital, right? Yeah, for a month, right? And Sarah says that she's in a lockdown at least for a month. And I know that they're thinking in your area, guys, of doing it for longer if they have to. Yeah, he got the best care. It's not what the average person here will get. And he got advanced medicine that the average person won't get. Yes. But I don't, Monty, my husband organized the mail. So you have to understand when I do the mail, I put it in order of when it arrives, right? And so I can't tell you when yours arrive because that's not how my husband organizes the mail. So when I pull out a package, I try to pull it up from the bottom, hoping that it's in some sort of order. But the truth is, he likes to organize by size. So he was doing the mail for me. So I think I'm doing everything out of order, but I can't help it because he organized the mail. Yeah, that's what they said that you guys might be. You need a break, Sarah. See, but you're an essential worker. It's different for you. Enjoy your dinner, Kayla. I, Michelle, listen, that's how I feel about the whole thing also. The only thing I want to make sure of is that we all stay healthy. Um, the president is still the president, and I do believe in law and order. Like, I know that sounds wonky, and it kind of makes me nerdy. Um, but I don't want like his secrets. I don't want Secret Service being at risk because they're exposed to things. I don't want that kind of stuff. But for sure, I agree with you. We all agreed to these elections. That's what we did. We all think this is constitutional. We all agree with that constitution. We don't have a better system. So, and I don't agree with rioting and burning down people's houses, and I don't agree with burning down people's stores. But I think it actually hurts the immediate neighborhood more than it hurts anybody else. Yeah. Enjoy. And Lizzie, what do you eat? You'll tell us later what you ate. I want to know what Lizzie made. Lizzie can cook, y'all. Lizzie can cook. I want to know what Lauren Cunningham's making. Afterwards, she always posts on Instagram and she's got like 5 things done. And I'm like, wait, I just finished one thing today. One thing. Oh, see, I knew you were doing something good. Oh my goodness, I knew it. I knew it. Nada, Lauren, is something wrong? Are you okay? That is not like you. Wait, do you have all your Christmas cards done? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel too. Hi, Elvia. Brian. How is like your salt levels, Brian? So you didn't have time. Okay. All right. I know you were doing that You were doing the swap, but then I figured you were working on something else after. You always get so much done on these, which like I'm always amazed when I look on Instagram. I'm like, how'd you get all that done? Yeah, because you're making masks, Lisa. You can't do both. Oh, you've been working on your Secret Santa, Bonnie? What did you make? Yeah, you're right. You're right, Cynthia. It's when it all started to go weird. You have yours done, Esther? Oh my goodness, are you guys fast? Okay, so I want to know what you all made. Bonnie and Esther, what did you make? Yeah, he needs regular body temperature. Your hubby cooks a lot, man. Holy cow. Oh, what? Tag flip, Bonnie. Oh, I bet you the embellishments are great. I know you're done too, Lena. I don't, you guys are really fast. Wow, even feeling that sick, Brian? And Nilda finished your journals. Oh, that's so funny. Sorry, I'm. Oh, and you made Thanksgiving cards too. Yeah, I know you do, Lisa, and that's hard. I cook every day too. I do. I do. I know Brian needs our help. Like he needs to feel better, guys. He's been feeling off for almost a month now. Almost a month now. Sorry, Brian. I'm glad at least lying down helps a little bit, but I don't like that you're so cold, and I don't like that your body temperature drops so fast. Yay, Nilda, really? I want to have an intro like Kathy and Patty. I have to learn how to do that. I don't know how to do that. I was watching some videos today. Hi, Deanna. I was watching some videos today on how you build an intro like that because I want to have an intro like that too, but not for every video, but for some videos. Yeah, I know you can't. You have too much on your plate, Bonnie. If you wait to the last minute, something can go wrong. I totally get that. Are you seriously crocheting a jumper? Which, by the way, y'all is a sweater. Whoa. I cannot believe that. Okay, so you go. I don't think there's much you can't make. I've decided. What's been helping, Brian? Like, is there anything like sometimes for me, I notice if I take a rest by a certain time, so I always have ink on my hands when I'm doing this. I notice if I rest by a certain time, it helps me. Like I feel better. I look better. I wake up looking a bit puffy, like you see me now, but I feel better and I don't feel as unstable. Does anything help you? I can't knit or crochet either. Dawn, you're not alone. My mom is a great knitter and I can't do it. Nelda, I would be so happy. Wait a second. Do you have how to place your phone? Do you have a mount, Nilda? Do you have a mount for your phone? You made her a boho vest? Bonnie, we need to see these things. Nothing helps you, Brian. I'm sorry. Hi, Jana. That's amazing, Dana. That makes me smile. Yeah, I can't, guys, I can't knit. I can hand sew now, but you have to understand how embarrassing this is. My grandmother was a tailor. My mom is an expert knitter. She can embroider, she can crochet. My mom can do all that stuff. And like Pat, she only has 10% vision. I cannot knit. I cannot crochet. Like my hands don't work that way. Um, yeah, wow. Okay, Monty, that makes me feel better. Whew. Yeah, it's a little embarrassing. Hi, Rosemary. How are you? We're all chatting about whether or not lots of people in here can knit, and some people have been like knitting sweaters and vests as gifts for Christmas, and we're like, and there is Misty in the house. Hi, Misty. And Pat quilts. See, you learned knitting at primary school too. So did my mom in England. So did my mom. My mom learned as a kid in school. And she's really good at it, I think. She's like really good. She can make anything. She's made me leg warmers and hand warmers and beautiful hats. And then she made me a reading shawl with pockets for my pens. Like she's really good at it. I can't even make like a what do you call them? Pot holder. I can't even do a pot holder. It's embarrassing. Okay. Yeah. The lighting, it took me a long time to figure that out too. I just got a special light for crafting, Nilda. We might have to get you like a table mount. Yeah, sewing is still a huge struggle. Still a huge struggle. I do much better at hand sewing. I don't know what it is with me in the machine. Yeah, you know what? I think that's how I learned how to sew in general, Michelle, was that we were forced to do it. But I was terrible at it then. I'm not much better at it now. The hand sewing I'm fine with. I can actually hand stitch now quite well, both fabric and paper. But machine and I are not friends. We're not friends. See, my mom, we also took home economics. I know you do, Lenny. You were actually what inspired me to like stop using the machine and getting frustrated and start hand doing it. And I'm telling you, it's made a world of difference because now I can do a lot of what I want to do. I just have to spend the time doing it by hand. Oh, Nelda, we'd be so excited for you. We'd be so excited for you. Yeah, we did cooking and sewing too. We didn't do knitting either. Ah, that's what motivated it. It's true. Yeah, you know what's true, Lanny? Like, I think that if I really wanted to learn, like if I couldn't have mastered the hand sewing, I would have kept out the machine more just because I really wanted to be able to sew on certain things. That was enough of a drive to make me learn how to do it. But then, like, I don't love the feel of knitting enough to motivate me probably to get better at it. I think we all have things we like more or less, right? Although Although, after making charms now, I'm starting to enjoy it, even though it's still hard on my hands. I like it now. So sometimes if you just keep at it, my dad used to say that it was a good idea to always do something you were really bad at, because if you only ever do things you're good at, then one, you never know what failure is, and that's not healthy, or how to rebound from it. But also, you shouldn't just do things you're good at. Like you should try other things. So I try to remember that and do sometimes things I'm not so good at. And some of those things I really enjoy. Like there's some sports I'm really not good at, but I actually don't mind doing in non-COVID times. Like, I'm not the best tennis player, but I really enjoy it. So I try to remember that in crafting too. Yeah, Nelda, I'm not good at the machine. The hand sewing for me makes sense to my brain. Um, yep. See, Pat, I know you don't change your time. I did not know that. Yeah, but Pat, the fact that you could do that at all is remarkable. You're like my mom. I don't know how you guys do it. It's like you somehow intuitively know where everything goes because I have my vision and I can't do that. So, I mean, I'm sure for you it's super frustrating like it is for my mom. My mom says, "Oh, I can't knit anymore. It's too frustrating." The reality is she can knit anyone out of a box. She's amazing. But it's because she kind of intuitively knows, right? She kind of knows how to do it, and my hands don't work that way. That's kind of how I feel too, Joanne. That's true. That's how I feel too. That's why I like the hand stitching so much because once I got good enough at it, I was like, okay, I can do this. Um, and there's only some things I wanted to do. Like I wanted some stitching on paper. I wanted to be able to do something with that embroidery hoop die I bought that you guys are going to see soon. I wanted to be able to do certain hand stitching. And it was Lana who inspired it because she loves hand stitching. She does great hand stitching. And I was like, okay, this is how I'm going to do it. Yep, it's true. Your dad's right. Hi, Deb Hendrick. Hi. How are you doing? I'm waiting for Deb to tell us how she's doing. Deb, how are you feeling? What does okay mean? Tell us what okay means. Yeah, you see, my mom also, you know what? My mom made my doll's clothes too. She did. She sewed my doll's clothes for me as a kid. Yeah, right? That was really special. Like, and all my friends were like, where did you get that? It's like my mom made it. Like you can't go buy that in the store. She made it from whatever. Hi, Becky. I don't know if she like I don't remember her having a scrap bin, but she must have. Um, because she would make, and she also made all my Halloween costumes. And one year she made me this whole furry tiger thing with a tail that like had a wire in it and it bent. It was really cool. And she sewed all those costumes herself, you know? I wonder about that too, Cynthia. Does anyone have one of those hand stitching machines? Oh wow, Monty. See, that's really inspiring. Like, I don't know. Okay, so that's what it means, Deb. It means you're stable enough. How are you feeling emotionally? Because you've had a lot this year, girly. You've had a lot. Hmm. Okay, okay. Elsa and Sarah say they didn't like it. Not good in that department. All right, so the same question that I asked Elsa 2 weeks ago, I'm going to ask you. What would help, Deb? What would make this better? 'Cause there's got to be something that might help you feel better supported or might help you psychologically, and maybe we can help with it. Hi, Soleil. And maybe we can help with it. Maybe we can't. Maybe we can. We just don't know. But if we know what it is, like also was saying that sometimes these lives help, right? Um, everybody, we all know that there are moments where we have a tough time, and different things help different people. Okay, that's what Elsa says too. Oh, it was the tension. I don't even know if I'm advanced enough to know about the tension, Elsa. So, Elsa, how coming back around to you? How are you coping too? I mean, you've had the stitches jump out. That would make me insane. That would really make me insane, actually. That would bother me a lot. Okay, so no, Cynthia, no hand stitching machine for us. There's no shortcuts in life. I'm telling you. Oh, tension is the hardest. Yeah, see, there's no shortcut. I think with sewing, it's a pretty precise thing. Yeah, me too, Cynthia. I was curious too, because like the little teeny machine that Lily suggested that I get. Here's the problem with that machine that I got in New York. It breaks really easily. And if you're learning how to sew, it's an inexpensive investment, which is good, but easy to break it. Not so good. Whereas an older sewing machine is a little bit easier to use, actually. They did ask you? When did they ask you, Elsa? Oh no. Now that I don't have words for Elsa. Oh, Susan, that is such a good point I didn't think of. Also, what are the conditions if would you be able to visit? Mine broke too, Lonnie. My little machine from Walmart, I broke it more than once, but it was under warranty and they replaced it. Bye, Lauren. I want to know what Lauren's having. I'm going to message her on Instagram and be like, Lauren, what are you having? Okay. Because you know what, Elsa? That's compassionate grounds, right? So if they talk to the governor and the governor understands There can be compassionate grounds. You know, Elsa, my husband, when I went to have my procedures done, they wouldn't let him in and he got very upset. And now I'm going to go have these other procedures done that are a little bit more serious. And they had to have a conversation with him about why they won't let him into the hospital. And he tried to explain to them that as a spouse, this does not sit okay, right? And so I can't imagine that's just for like a procedure. I can't imagine how you're feeling. I watched my husband almost have a meltdown over, and I've never seen him like this before, right? Where for him, it just doesn't compute. Um, I'm hoping the governor's compassionate. Yeah, Pat, keep your fingers crossed. And I'll keep my toes crossed, and maybe between the two of us, she'll get to visit. I hope so. I think those cheap sewing machines are a waste of money too. I've decided that too, Sandra. I just don't know if I'm ever going to be patient enough with myself to warrant using a better machine. The hand sewing is working. So I'm like, well, if it's working and it ain't broke, don't fix it. But maybe one day eventually I'll want to do more again. And then I'll have to think, about investing in a better machine and then considering which one to get. Oh, Deb, I'm so sorry. Ah, what a week, y'all. I'm telling you, Deb, we're going to be thinking about you. Elsa, it's hard for him to know a voice. With everything that's gone on in his brain, a voice is hard. And if you could visit, I'm pretty confident, like, remember what Lauren said? That after time, there's recognition because there's long-term memory recall. A second-hand machine is genius. I'm just learning too, Sandra, about the sewing on paper. Um, see, that's what the machine I'm thinking of getting, Lisa, eventually is a brother. A lot of people have told me it's kind of like reliable. It's not super expensive. It's reliable, and you'll have it your whole life. But I didn't think about getting one secondhand. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Me too. Like I like the hand sewing. I'm good at it now. I'm much better at it. I've been practicing and practicing and practicing. I'm much better at it. So my urgency is not there. If I think I'm going to move on to sew books or things like that, like actually stitch them in like junk journaling, then I'll think about getting a brother and I'll wait and either get it secondhand. Secondhand's a great idea. Or I'll just get it when it's on sale. Wow. And yours is the Kenmore, right? Yeah. Those are reliable. Thrift stores are also a smart idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Actually. See, yeah, a brother's reliable, a Kenmore is reliable. It can come from a thrift store. No, I haven't forgotten, girly. My concern is that I think that there's going to be better makers than me that will use it more, Pat. I haven't forgotten. I'm just, what if I never get good enough? That's what I'm worried about, Pat. Like, so then there could be somebody more skilled with it. I haven't forgotten. Wow. We're all pretty frugal. Like, look, we're all pretty smart people. And it's amazing when we have these discussions. We're like, okay, you know what? Like, I got it on sale. This is the one I got, lasted 20 years. We all keep our stuff for a long time. We clearly all look after our stuff, right? Because we still have it. Thank goodness monkey sewing is fine because the straight line thing is not great. um, but it's good because we look after our stuff. So it's amazing that you can get one machine and it can last you a really long time if you look after it, right? It's most of our equipment is like that if we take care of it. The only problem is now with the introduction of technology becomes outdated. And that's why, like, how many times did Judy, my scrapbook loft, how many times did she say she had to replace her machine now? Like 4 times because of technology. Not because she takes very good care of her things. It's just that technology advanced. Yeah, it's true. The what ifs is true. I should just keep trying, Susan. It's true. I think the one temptation is the junk journal. Right now I'm hand sewing it and it's not as perfect, but it's not terrible. It's just not as perfect. What do you mean they act like you're dumb, Elsa? Yeah, I don't know how to repair them, but I can watch videos. Like I'm handy. I do all the repairs at our house. I'm handy. Um, so I can do stuff. Quarter of the residents, Brian? Oh wow. Oh wow, Lorraine. Oh, I'm gonna check her out too. I've never seen hand sewn brooches. Hold on, I have to write that down. Are you okay, Soleil? It's true. I don't understand. Elsa, what do you mean they talk to you like you're dumb? Oh, come on. The doctor's or the politician's office? Both is are offensive, but which one? I'm hoping to that I'm waiting to see what Soleil says too. Yeah, Dawn, stay safe. Everybody stay safe. Wear at least a mask. If you can, wear like some kind of mask and a cloth mask. I know, and they keep saying, all the news channels say it's worse in the internal city areas, and it's okay. No, no, you have to go, Soleil. It's urgent. That's urgent. I hope we're getting better news. What a time. The doctor talks to you like that, Elsa? Okay, so I'm gonna tell you something. My mother's former doctor used to talk to my mother. I don't know if this person, I don't know how to describe this to y'all. So my mom is 84 years old, 84, and she's a vibrant, active person. And her previous doctor talked to her like she was 12. And she told me about it. And when I went to go see her when she got sick last year, I went to her follow up appointment. And within 5 seconds, I said, "You can't talk to her like this. It's offensive. She's not a child." Um, I don't know what's wrong with doctors. It's really offensive. Can one of your children say something? Because I actually said something so it would stop. And then I wanted her to get a new doctor. You can't get a new doctor, but one of your children can say, "Don't do that again to her, or we'll file a complaint." Like that's rude. And you already are having a heartbreaking situation. You can't have that. Yeah, it's true. So true, Lenny. Ah. Good night, Dawn. I'm much better at the hand sewing too, Chris. I do much better with the hand sewing. I feel you. Okay, good. I'm glad because you know what? You shouldn't need your kids to say something, but it works and it'll make it stop. The idiot stop. I'm so sorry. Who needs that on top of everything else? Yeah, right? Exactly, Susan. Oh my goodness. Yeah, right? Like we were talking, Rosemary, about the fact that like Pat and my mom have less than 10% vision. And they both can still knit like beautifully. And they can do all these sort of needle crafts. And we're like, how is that possible? Like, how is it possible with that? Oh, Nilda, that is so offensive. See, that is so offensive. Wow. Yeah, I've been watching your area too, Lorraine, pretty carefully. The tents are scary, I think. Yeah, Right, exactly. Well, that's what, you shouldn't need your kids to say something, but I have to tell you, the doctor didn't talk to her like that again because the doctor was afraid I'd file a complaint. They're not afraid of my mother, who's the patient who they should be listening to, but they were afraid of me. And that's why I asked, like, can one of else's kids go and end it immediately because nobody should be enduring that. Oh, it's nauseating. Yeah, mom's rock. It's true. I'm telling you. Yep. Really, Monty? Because they're not reporting that spike yet, but that doesn't mean it's not. So if you got an emergency message, it means it's everywhere now. There you go, Bonnie. See? It's happened to all of us. Elsa, Bonnie's sister had the same thing, so Bonnie said something. I don't know what's with doctors. It's like they need to take a class or something. See? Exactly, Cynthia, right? Right? Me too. Me too. They always used to say, "Is your kid from New York coming?" Because Canadians are so polite. They're really so polite. And I'm firm and feisty when it comes to my mom. Like, yeah, don't talk to her like that ever. And listen to what she's saying to you. And the other thing that used to make me crazy, Elsa, is that they would look at me and I'd say, "Don't look at me. I'm not the patient. My mother's sitting right here, right here." Ah, yeah, Jean, you're right. Okay, so it's in every county. Yeah, how about yours, Pat, that aren't checking on you, which is making me insane? Oh, see, Becky, see, it happens to all of us. What is wrong with them? This is incredible. Oh, Kathy, I understand that. Oh, do I understand that? Yep. Yeah. See, Lanny, you and I are cut from the same cloth. That is exactly why they're like, "Is your kid from New York coming?" Because I will do the same thing. I will report them. So it's like, don't talk to her like that. I'm going to give you one more chance to be decent with my mother. Talk to her. She's sitting here. She's the patient. Don't ask me about her symptoms. I don't have her symptoms. She does. She knows her body perfectly well. Thank you. Yeah, it's respect. You're right. I can't believe it. See, right. Right. It's like, it's funny, sir, right? It's true. I have to tell you, they want me to see this specialist at Cleveland Clinic, and I hate this doctor. I don't dislike this doctor. I hate this doctor. This doctor is arrogant and he thinks he's a big deal because he's written a lot of papers on scleroderma. And he's solved a lot of problems in research. I'll give him that. But he gets zero, not just from me, but from hundreds of people. He gets 0 out of 5 for bedside manner. First thing he says is, "Why are you even here today? Like, which one of your specialists felt it was urgent to send you to me? Do you read my chart? No? Okay. Can we talk a little nicer to each other?" Oh, he's maddening. He's maddening. Whoa, Lorraine, this is crazy. The answer is fantastic. Yeah, there you go, Deanna, right? Bring your mouth down here. I'm that sibling too. I'm the one that goes to say, not happening. Not happening. Oh, and Brian, you have seasonal affective disorder, right? You live with that, right? So that's going to be hard, but okay. So what you have to hold on to is two things: your visits with your sister and your nieces. And then the other thing you want to hold on to is surround yourself with things that make you happy visually. Visually. Okay, Monty. So the telehealth's weird, right? Because I've had several of my checkups also through it. It's very strange. Did they have you were you on a tablet or on your cell phone? Yeah, Brian needs to put up like visually fill his space with things that are much more uplifting and not so dark and bright. The phone, okay, it's easier on the phone. Don't try it on another device. I think my suggestion would be, because it gets weirder if they ask you to walk or can you bring something closer. Your phone is the easiest way to do it, I think. It's a little weird. So you have to go in for the scan of your neck. Monty, are they going to do the scan to see what's going on? And that has to be the hospital. So you need to really mask up. Okay. So you're going to have to really mask up and just be super careful and wash all your clothes as soon as you come home. Do you have aerosol at home? If you do, spray the bottoms of your shoes before you come in the house. Yeah, and crafting will help. Okay. Okay. So here's the thing. So, okay, if you have spray, make sure, Monty, you spray the bottom of your shoes before you step into your home or your car, even if you can. Yeah, Pat's been under lockdown. I keep mentioning she's been under lockdown, guys, for a really long time. And her rheumatologist is not calling and checking. It makes me crazy. Oh no, now you've got that. So they're going to have to see if all the nerves are they checking? It's your neck and your brachial plexus, the nerve center of your neck where your neck joins your thing down here. Do you like it, Brian? How do you like therapy via telehealth? Because for me, it's kind of like teaching via this system, and it's a little weird to get used to. Yeah, we have poke eye. It's true. It's so true. I'm also that child. Coffee. My husband was asking, they were saying, can he do physio via video? He's going to try. We're going to see if it works out. I still think that's going to be a little strange for him. I'm just catching up. Okay, did anyone get anything else done? I got 2 sheets done for my handmade paper, but I don't want to show it yet till I do the shimmer on it, but it's the beginning of it. It's just not finished yet, this one. See, I don't understand that. When this is all said and done, Pat, we got to get you a new doctor. At least someone who's going to check on you. Oh, you already have that result. Okay. I'm glad it's the same. Okay, so one, I'm glad that they're checking it, and I'm glad that hopefully they'll figure out how to help you because you can't not have use of your hand. And Brian, I'm glad you adjusted because not everybody does. Yeah, I feel your pain, Lynn. I've got some stuff to do too. And you've got a credit sleeve. You've got 2 more to go. I'm catching up when everyone finished with you. Good night, Kathy. I'm telling you, Michelle, I think her doctor is negligent. I think that, I mean, look, I get it. She can't go to an appointment. So I understand that. What I don't understand is like, how about a check-in? How about a phone call? Let's go over all your symptoms. Let's go over how you're feeling. Let's do a test on your vision. You know, it's not okay. It's not okay. Because, all of her treatments are not happening either. Yeah, the gas pump, right? It's one of the most dangerous because they can't clean it with solvent. That's why, Lorraine. I make sure that my husband does the gas for that reason. The surfaces it doesn't live on as long, but it could live on some surfaces more. It's human skin it lives on the longest, by the way. That's 9 hours. But on surfaces, it's less time. And if you disinfect, it goes away. But the pump, they can't spray all that stuff on because it's flammable, right? So that's the only one where most places are testing positive for it. So when you're pumping on your trip to your sister's, you got to really wash your hands and disinfect them with hand sanitizer. Okay, so yeah, you keep nitrile gloves, and that's the way to do it. Either wear gloves and throw them off and put on some sanitizer, or Lorraine, make sure you're really got like scrub your hands because that's the one place we can't disinfect. It's not a good idea, Brian. It's not. There's some things we have to go to the hospital for or the doctor's office. Even me, who's like reluctant girl with age. Yeah, Yeah, they haven't, Lenny, I told my rheumatologist, they have not checked on her. It makes me insane. It makes me insane. Yeah, it's not right. I actually said to my rheumatologist, are there other, okay, so my rheumatologist, guys, is a stem cell survivor. Like he's had stem cell replacement therapy, which makes him super vulnerable to COVID, super vulnerable. And he was still seeing patients in person who were in dire need. And I asked him if this is normal. He's former head of the Rheumatological Association in America, and he says no, but it's not the only case he's heard like this, though. He's hearing from across America that some doctors don't want to deal with patients in high risk areas because they don't want to get COVID. And I'm like, well, didn't they take an oath to do this job? And he was like, yeah. Also, he says today you can call a patient, you can video chat, we can do this, you can Zoom. If they don't have Zoom, you can call them on the phone. Like there's all different ways to check up on patients. You don't have to see them in person to check in on them. So there's no reason. There's just no reason. And Pat's not getting her B12 shot. She's taking extra B because we've all talked to her about this. She's taking extra B vitamins, but it's not the same as getting an injection. Right. So my GP, Sarah, made exceptions. She was running the intensive care in New York. And then so before the GPs opened up in New York, she made an exception and brought me in to make sure I wasn't getting super sick. And I was getting super sick. A lot of GPs have opted not yet to practice regular medicine because that would be maybe insane. But specialists, when there's life-saving things at hand, are supposed to be seeing patients or at least taking phone calls or video calls and checking on Pat. And no one's even called her. No one's even called her to say, like, are you still alive? Do you know what the risks are with MS and COVID? Like, yeah, telehealth is better. It's true. It's, I just don't get it, y'all. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I have the opposite problem. I want them to not book me so many appointments. But I've got great doctors who are really responsible. And this to me is insanely irresponsible. But my rheumatologist says that he's heard of a lot of people having this problem. Right? Right. If you can get your nails done, you should be able to see a dentist or a doctor. Very good points there. That is such a good point because the nail salon is the most dangerous place. So, besides a haircut. Yeah, it is. Yeah, like you, Cynthia, saying, I know it makes me, Cynthia, my doctors must think I'm nuts. I come in, I'm like, is that normal? It's like, no, Alicia, but it is happening. Um, Good. Okay. Okay. No, no. So you understand. Okay. So Brian, you're already doing that. Yeah, and you just tear the tip off your finger for it for the INR, right? Okay. But we still need to get you some more masks, Brian, because if you're going to keep going through things like we're all going right now, you're going to need some more masks. So I put a note down. Um, yeah, thank goodness your society does the checking, Pat, but they shouldn't have. They shouldn't have. Who- Let me see. Shingles is something everyone should be vaccinated against too, by the way, if you can get the vaccination. Not everybody can get it. It's not covered everywhere. That's the problem, and it's expensive. Oh yeah. Hi Rhonda. We have to learn to be like it's good that we share this with each other because look, Elsa, we learned how people are talking to Elsa. Pat's not getting a doctor check-in. Ah, it's a crazy time. If you guys watch Connecting, if you've ever watched it, it's like a group of friends that get together like this and like they talk about all these things too. And it's really funny. It's really funny. Right? Yeah, 5 years for your insurance to cover it, right, Lauren? They hate covering it. I know. Yeah. But at least they called, right? They called for you, Lenny, which made me so happy. Oh, Dana, I'm glad they caught it though. You see, this is why you can't go unchecked because see, there's something wrong with your thyroid. Yeah, shingle. Hi, Tammy. My father had shingles too. It is pretty terrible. Uh, well, first of all, tell us how you're doing. We saw you got some cute socks. Tell us, tell us, tell us. I know so much pressure on you now, but we want to know how you're doing. Yeah, if you can get it, get the shingles vaccine. Okay, you're doing good. How's the adjustment? Your sister's still spoiling you, I hope. Fingers crossed. Oh, new meds are not fun. Yeah, Joy, my father was really sick with it. It's pretty awful. It's a pretty awful thing. Yeah, you see? Right. They just call, right? I know. All my doctors from New York too, Lanny. I know. I don't get the difference. Um, well, you don't, she can help you unpack. Tammy, you don't have to do it all by yourself. New medicine makes you exhausted and nauseous usually. It's a lot. It's a lot to adjust to. But it's good to see that you're okay to come on. That actually makes me really happy. How does it feel being with your sister? Does it feel really comforting? Oh, yeah, my mom had that reaction to the shot too, but it's worth it, Lauren. I bet you she's been helping. Do you feel comfortable there? Like you feel comfortable and safe and loved? You know, Dana, thyroid can also affect your moods, whether or not you sleep. It can make you gain or lose weight rapidly. I'm really glad your doctor caught it. It's not okay that the other doctor didn't tell you. Of course you miss it, but I'm glad you're loving it. You know what? And listen, of course you're going to miss him every day, but it's great to have the support and you need the support. And I'm really happy you have a sister who's willing to do that, right? And that's actually like a really special thing. And it makes me happy to know you're happy there. I love it. Pat, get the word out. We need some men solids. That's what they told us when we were younger, Nadia, and then they changed their mind and realized that actually it doesn't make us any less likely to get shingles. Isn't that insane? Yeah. Well, Pat, you crack me up. Yeah, you and I, girly, you and I think you have me beat by the appointments, and I'm losing my mind. I don't know how you have the patience for it. I don't. I get cranky at the end of the day, and I don't get cranky very much in life. This makes me cranky. Doctor's appointments make me cranky. Procedures make me cranky. Ah, thank goodness for making. That's all I have to say. Oh, kids prints. Also, I didn't think, you know what? I only put one Disney thing in there. Let me see if I can find some more tomorrow when I go out for the pre-election shopping so I don't get stuck having to shop. I do have to go to my doctor's appointments on Tuesday, but other than that, and I told you one of them is pre-op, so I can't change it. But other than that, I don't want to go to like a outdoor place. Oh, because all your stuff is still packed away. Did you pack like one box of like, I have like always a box of what I call like the things I use all the time to make with that maybe you can just access easier than having to unpack everything because that would be exhausting. But you know what? This pandemic, Sarah, is going to be like a year at least longer, right? I bet you Brian would just be happy. And by the time they get there, and it's been pretty fast in the UK, but by the time they get there, he'll probably need a new mask. Ah, okay. So you maybe have some 2D. Me too. Me too. I think I have another. I'll take a look tomorrow too for kids patterns. I thought about men, but I forgot about kids. I don't know. I forgot. I only put in one Disney thing. I hope you get to set up. I really hope so. Tammy, I hope that. Sorry, not my brain just went to mush because now I'm getting sleepy. Tammy, I hope you get to make, but I also don't want you unpacking. When you're exhausted and you have procedures like that, that's not going to be fun at all. So maybe if maybe your sister can help you even a little bit more and just dig through your stuff to find all the essential making items, like the things you'll want to make right away. And then you have like a little tray of stuff. So you guys don't have to unpack everything right away. It's too much with all your appointments. It's just too much. They're draining, right? And now you have new medicine too. Oh, girly, you are one brave girl. I'm making a note of the date. How are you feeling about it? Yeah, I can't have shots either. No live vaccines with autoimmune. No live vaccines. I don't think so either, Cynthia. I don't think so either. Mm, I know, Lanny. Yeah, I want you to get it done with too. We're all going to be thinking about you. We're all going to be thinking about you. Uh, it's true. You know what? And Cynthia said that before. We have to start thinking about them like a fashion accessory, you know, so that we feel more comfortable about wearing them. And oh, chemo is going to be a drain. Did they talk to you about which one they're going to give you? That's going to make you not feel great after a couple of weeks. So we have to know when you start that too, so we can be extra supportive. Yeah, that's true, Brian. No, Brian, you're right. Well, we have to see if we're going to end up in that crisis again. I mean, we're at a point now. If you take a look at the numbers in America, guys, we're at a point now in some states, like where Pat lives, where the numbers are worse than they were in April in New York. And we thought we would never see those numbers again. And they're worse in Pat's state right now. So Dr. Fauci said yesterday, I mean, why it took him till now to tell us the truth, I don't know. But he says now that like we're headed towards big problems. No, it's true. And people have mask fatigue, I think, too, Lenny. And they have COVID fatigue and they have election fatigue. Yep. Well, but if we were testing more, the percentages actually wouldn't be higher. That's okay. So that's what they never explain on the news. If we were, when we test more, we have more positives. But actually, they have a way, an algorithm, a math equation to offset that. So it's actually not a reflection of the testing. The news just doesn't do a good job explaining that. It's that more people, you know what? I want to wait to see if it's strain one or strain two. They know the second strain, guys, which already has hit like parts of the Middle East and has already hit Europe. The second strain is much more contagious than the first one. So it just depends on whether or not America has having the first strain or the second strain. They're not telling us everything either, and that's a problem. Thank goodness. Oh my goodness, Tammy. I'm so glad because he's younger and he was able to fight it off. His immune system was strong enough to fight it off. But not every young person fights it off. So I'm so glad. Yeah, it's true. It's what people are feeling to do, Lenny. I think this is a time of personal responsibility and it's a hard time. Yeah, I don't know, Cynthia. That's a really good question. Yeah, right. This time around, right, Sarah? That's the change. That's what I'm saying. There's the second strain is much more contagious, and they're seeing changes in the demographics. So we have to wait to see. Again, guys, if you follow news outside of America, you actually learn more about COVID itself. And that's really sad, but it's true. So the second strain is more contagious. They can actually trace it. Like they traced this one type of it from a place in Spain. And that strain went all the way through parts of Europe. And they know exactly how many people it was affected. It's affected. And it's much more contagious. Now, they don't know yet if it has a higher death rate or a lower death rate. They're waiting. They're still doing the studies. So we don't know what strains are affecting because they don't tell us here. Yeah, like right. First strain was deadly, second wave killed more. Exactly. It's exactly like this, Lanny. Yeah. So we don't know. I guess our question is when Fauci said yesterday, and again, why did he wait till now? But when he said yesterday that we're in for a very bad time and we're not well prepared and he's very worried it's going to be catastrophic, I'm thinking, well, what does he mean? Does that mean we that America's mostly still in wave one and we haven't yet had wave two? And that when we get wave two, then the numbers are going to be 4 million? Like, what does he mean? It was such a blanket statement with no specificity for us to understand, like, what does he mean by terrible? I think 200,000 people dead is terrible. So what exactly do you mean? Yeah, no social distancing. It's true. I think people are tired and they're rushing the vaccine. Yeah. Oh, wow. And her dad has it badly and he got the COVID pneumonia, right? Oh, Lord. Yeah, we have to be really careful. See, like Lorraine was thinking about this by reporting the hand thing on the gas pump, right? And that was really great information because maybe people didn't know that on here that the gas pump is the area they can't disinfect with those chemicals. So that was a great piece of sharing. So you know to wear gloves or wash your hands a lot after gas pumping. But I wish this was the kind of stuff they were sharing so that we know how to better protect ourselves. And then maybe we wouldn't be so COVID exhausted, you know? Well, that's good to know that it was based on SARS. My husband and I, when we were doing the research, Sarah, we found out that it actually is a derivative of or an offshoot of SARS. Um, yeah, it's another good question, Cynthia. I don't know. We have a lot of questions. I think the best thing we can do is just protect ourselves and do what we've been doing, share information with each other, like Lorraine did tonight about the gas pump. We just keep sharing, and Lisa's going to keep making masks, and everyone, we're just going to keep each other sane, and hope for everybody's good health and their safety. Yeah, it's true, Misty. Oh my goodness, are you right on that? Boy, are you right by that. Well, they know it comes from a bat, Lisa. They know that this is derived from a bat. You want to know when I did the research, because I actually thought that was potentially a hoax. It's one of the things I went looking to see if that was true or not. But it actually really is from a bat. That's not a lie. Yep, it's true. It's true. It's a depopulation. It makes me worry about that too. It's true, Pat. It really is from a bat. I thought that was fake claim. It's not a fake claim. I did the research. It's not a fake claim. It's a real claim. That's real. Now, they don't, lots of people like to say it's because if I've been to the night markets in China. And if you've been to the night markets in China, then you know that there are things eaten at the night market that maybe aren't eaten around the world. But it's also an excuse for people to be racist. It really is. Um, I'll give you an example. In a night market in China, they will skewer scorpions on a kebab skewer. Children eat it like candy. They love it. It's not the only country that eats scorpions, but people use it as an excuse to be racist. So they're saying that maybe it was from the night market that they were eating bats. No, it is from a bat. COVID comes from a bat. But bats bite. I was once at a writing conference in Spain and we had two people from the conference bitten. We were in Sicily and two people were bitten by bats. It's not that uncommon, actually. So, yeah, it's from a bat, BAT. But, some people are using it as an excuse to be like, well, they probably ate the bat at the market. It's not what happened, probably. I've never seen bats at the night market. But, hi, Gina. But bats bite. They don't always bite, just like you can get rabies from a bat, but they do bite. So, you know, that's why I thought it was a fake claim, actually. Right. Right. Cynthia, see? So this is, they use this as a reason to divide people. But so far, research indicates that unfortunately, like rabies, it traveled through a bat. There's some animals that transport disease easier, and bats are one of them. They're flying rodents, they're flying rats, guys. Come on. Of course they track disease. What caused the plague? Rats. What's a bat? A flying rat. It's not that surprising. I think street food is interesting too. And I've eaten a ton of it in my lifetime. So, um, right, that was testing. It's true. It's not far from a lab that was testing on SARS and MERS. It's true. That came out of the research too. There's a bunch of unanswered questions. We're talking about COVID and how it, because it's interesting that people, there's so many untruths, unfortunately, that we're like, which ones are actually true, which ones aren't true, and all the craziness that's just been happening across our country instead of people getting along and all the crazy things that we've heard lately. But yeah, it does attract bats. You're right. Right. And it's true. A pigeon's the same thing. You're so right, Cynthia. It's exactly the same thing. So, I mean, it just happened to be the animal of transmission, but there are others it could have been. So, bye, Deanna. I got to shut it down too. We're way over. We're almost at 2 hours, y'all. Yeah. Of course, they can tell that it derived from bats. I know. Once I researched it, I'll tell you why I didn't believe it at first, Lana. Because it sounded so racist to me that I really thought that claim was false. So I went looking, and no, you're absolutely right. It's actually genetically tested, and it's 100% accurate. It came from bats. But I mean, because sometimes these claims are made in such a racist way, I couldn't help it. I was like, oh, that can't be true then. But it actually is true. Food is food. You're right. You're so right, girl. And I got to tell you, what's common in one country to eat in the world is not common in another. So we just have to remember that. I know. It's the longest strategy session we've ever had. All right, y'all, we got to say goodnight. We've had a lot of fun though tonight. I'm sorry, Jenny, you walked right at our strange point in our conversation where we're talking about COVID, but we're saying, we all have to take personal responsibility. What Misty just said is really important. People are missing funerals. They're not having weddings. Elsa can't be with her husband during the worst crisis in their adult lives, right? The worst crisis in their adult lives. And Elsa can't be with her husband, but people can ride a roller coaster. Now, that doesn't make any sense, right? Any of us rational people, we know that's crazy. So we just got to protect ourselves and keep doing what we're doing. Share information, support each other, keep making pretty things because we're going to need them. Good night, Becky. Well, we did that first, and then we talked about everything else. Yeah, no, and it helps us too. I think it's good therapy too, Bonnie. And you know something? Look, like Lorraine raising the gas pump thing. If there's one person on here who didn't know that, well, then we just saved somebody because they didn't know about COVID on the gas pumps. So I think it does help everybody. And now we know Brian needs colorful things for his space, guys. Maybe we all need to make him something to cheer up his space. You know? Yeah. Gets us all through, Lauren. It gets us all through. Crafting and this community get us all through. We are really lucky. I say that all the time. We're super blessed. Go eat, Tammy. Yay! There's more socks coming, girl. Guys, good night. Thank you for spending all this time. And I really appreciate it. That's true. Yeah. All right. So we got to get you some men mask stuff. Men mask. Cynthia, you're gonna make me laugh. Good night, guys. Good night, everybody. Big hugs and prayers for everybody's safety. Stay really safe, y'all. Stay safe. Yeah, lots of prayings and blessings, everybody. Also, we really do care and really get that stepson to say something, girly. And don't ever let anyone talk to you like that. It's not cool. Where did you get a pooping Santa stamp? Oh, I'm gonna have to text you about that. Good night, guys. Good night, everybody. Just remember that Elsa, when he's talking to you, remember all of us saying no. Good night, Rhonda. Good night, Sarah. Stay healthy, everybody. Stay healthy.